For the second straight week, William Byron used a late race restart to take the lead away and win. Last week he did it at Las Vegas with two fresh tires actually to pass Martin Truex Jr. who had stayed out. This week he did 2 tires once again, but he had to pass his teammate Kyle Larson. He also had to hold off threats from Tyler, Reddick, Ryan Blaney, and others. But man, a pretty tame Phoenix race, but the finish was a little bit crazy. Denny Hamlin versus Ross Chastain, round 5,000, I want to say. There were some spins before that. Josh Berry got in the top 10 and only his second start in the 9 car. And yeah, we saw 3 wide for second place down the backstretch. Blaney tried to battle the Hendrick Motorsports cars for the win. Larson was running Byron almost into the wall. But at the end of the day, it was William Byron winning again. The second straight week that Hendrick has really dominated the race, dominated the weekend. But this race actually wasn't theirs with about 10 to go. Kevin Harvick, top 3 car all day long, had run up front. And he hadn't led laps or anything, but he had finally got the Hendrick cars. He had gotten up to second after a restart and reeled Kyle Larson in and passed Kyle Larson and actually ran away from Kyle Larson. Larson dominated the day. It led over 200 laps. But it was Harvick at the end here who had this race in hand. Harvick decided that he was going to run away with it. He's the king of Phoenix. He has 9 race wins there. It's his last season. You'd figure he's going to win there, right? Well, Harrison Burton decided to spin down the front stretch with, as I said, about 10 to go. And Harvick had a 4-second lead, I want to say. He had a really big lead. This race was his. And the caution comes out. Tough scene for Kevin Harvick, yes, but it happens. And now it's happened 2 straight weeks where we have seen the dominant car, or at least the car who had done everything right up until that final stage, those final moments, lose the race to William Byron. Now last week it was a little bit different. Byron had really dominated that Vegas race. He had led the majority of the laps. He had swept the stages. It's just that there was a late restart with about 40, 50 to go, I think it was, or maybe a little bit more, that Hamlin had stayed out on 2 tires. Larson's team had the better pit stop, and Larson eventually cycled out to the front, and he controlled the race from there. This week, Harvick had actually taken the lead on the track, and he had run away with it. So it's a little bit different, but still, 2 straight weeks William Byron has won. That's huge for him. William Byron, the most wins he's ever had in a season was 2, which was last year. Of course, he won at Martinsville and, what was the other one? Atlanta early in the season. But after that, he really fell off. Had a really bad summer stretch, but re-picked it up in the playoffs. And here to start off 2023, once again, he is hot. He led about 65 laps today, won that first stage, got his second win of the season in only 4 races this year. He's won 50% of the races this year. It's like F1 numbers or something. But Byron putting the 24 car back in victory lane yet again. As a Jeff Gordon fan, I love it. But yeah, what a finish to the race. As for the rest of the race, we had a new short track package this week. I think it's hard to judge the short track and road course package this week. Honestly, it wasn't terrible. The fighting for the lead, there was maybe 1 pass for the lead on track, and that was Kevin Harvick passing Kyle Larson. It's just, I think it's Phoenix. Phoenix just really isn't a great racing track. It's so difficult to pass at the track. It's such a unique track, but it's extremely difficult to pass on. And I think that's why the racing hasn't succeeded there necessarily in the last few years. NASCAR invested a lot of money into the track to make it the championship race, but it just hasn't lived up to the expectation. Yeah, it's Phoenix. I really had low expectations going in, but that's about all I have to say on the racing. It was all right, but I think we're going to have to wait till Martinsville, Richmond, one of those, to really get a feel for this new short track package. Maybe even COTA in a couple weeks at a road course, because I just don't think Phoenix is the right track to really look at and get a full judgment off of it. Be like, oh yeah, the Phoenix race sucked, the short track package is going to suck. You know, it's too iffy of a track, if you get what I'm saying. Let's look at the results, though. William Byron, his second straight win. First time in his career that he's won back-to-back races. 2 different types of tracks, and top 2 car all day long. Top 3, really. Him, Harvick, and Larson were the class of the field all day long. He led, as I said, 60 or so laps there and got another great restart there at the end. Great job by Byron. He's looking like an early championship contender. It's really early in the season to call that. We said this last year, and he kind of fell off a cliff there. So if he can keep this up, then he's a championship contender. But to get these playoff points, to get, what does he have, 4 stage wins this year already and 2 wins? He's racking up the playoff points. They're doing a lot right this season. It's a lot of good momentum. It's a lot of good, everything's going good for him. Winning races, winning stages, leading laps. I mean, they've looked like the best team so far. So really good start to the season for William Byron. Win number 2 on the season. 2 wins in a row for the 24. He's looking like Jeff Gordon out there. Ryan Blaney finishes in second. He had a top 10 car most of the day. Late strategy call to take 2 tires instead of 4. Put him on third on both of those last 2 restarts. Was able to actually try to make it 3 wide for the lead with Byron, Larson, and himself. Reddick gave Byron a huge push down the backstretch, which got Byron clear and essentially gave him the win. So Blaney really not able to contest. He tried his best to go bottom of 1 and 2, but he just couldn't carry the momentum through the turn, and therefore he couldn't really challenge Byron into 3 and 4 for the win. But Blaney, a really good finish, a second-place finish. Tyler Reddick, finally, after a terrible start to the year with 23-11, crashing out the first 2 races, and then last week running 15th or so, he finishes third today. He was in the top 10 most of the day, took 4 tires on that last caution, or second to last caution, and he was able to move up through the field to finish third. Really good run for him. 4th place, Kyle Larson. Did everything right until that last pit stop. Not pit stop. They got first out of pit road, took 2 tires, so they did that right. It actually falls on Larson's hands. That last restart, he didn't get the best restart. Byron was still on his outside the majority of the time, and, he tried to hold him off, tried to run him up the track a little bit. Byron got the push from Tyler Reddick, and that essentially sealed Larson's day. He finishes 4th, but a dominant day, led over 200 laps, won a stage, so he got a playoff point, but unfortunately falls short of the win. 5th place, Kevin Harvick had this thing in the bag with about 10 to go. Untimely caution. It happens in NASCAR a lot, and it's now happened 2 straight weeks where a guy's been leading by a lot, and a caution comes out late and essentially kind of screws him out of the win. Tough for Kevin Harvick. I'm sure he wanted to win this one, especially because he's been so successful at Phoenix, but wasn't meant to be. Really good run for Harvick. A really promising show for speed in the 4-car for Stewart-Haas Racing, but unfortunately for Harvick, just not enough. Bad caution. 6th place, Christopher Bell, up and down day. They had a bad pit stop early, and they were top 5 at that time. Had to rally back up through the field. Finishes 6th. Chase Briscoe, the defending winner of this race, finishes 7th. A good run for him. Top 10 run for him. He was looking bad early on in this race, but he rallies for his 7th. 8th place, Kyle Busch had to overcome a couple of penalties. 9th place, Alex Bowman. He's got a top 10 in every race this year. He's been actually extremely consistent, which usually is his problem, but this year he's been consistent. 10th place, all 4 Hendrick cars in the top 10. Josh Berry in only his 2nd start in the 9 car. He gets top 10. Uses it, takes advantage of those late race restarts. He was actually top 15, top 20 most of the day. Last week, just rough weekend, first week in the car. They had some issues with the car, and this week, no issues with the car. Top 10 finish. Good job, Josh Berry. 11th place, Joey Logano, the most recent winner. Of course, he won the championship here in November. Struggle of a day, got lapped early, rallies back for an 11th place finish. Ryan Preece 12th, McDowell 13th, Wallace 14th, Busher 15th, Dillon 16th, Truex 17th, Brad Keselowski 18th. That's disappointing. He was actually top 10 most of the day. Don't know what happened to him late there. 19th, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., 20th, AJ Allmendinger, 21st, Eric Jones, 22nd, Daniel Suarez, 23rd, Denny Hamlin, 24th, Ross Chastain. Yes, I need to see if they have fought real quick. Well, no fight, it doesn't look like, but once again, they found each other on track. Hamlin, this one was actually on Hamlin. I don't know if this counts as revenge because he kind of tanked his own finish in the process, but Hamlin into 1 and 2 just kind of went up the track and pushed Chastain and himself into the wall. And now 23rd, 24th. 25th, Austin Cindric, 26th, Corey LaJoie, 27th, Justin Haley, 28th, Ty Gibbs, 29th, Noah Gragson, 30th, Ty Dillon, Zane Smith, 31st, 32nd, Todd Gilliland, 33rd, Eric Almirola. 34th, Cody Ware. 35th, Harrison Burton. 36th, BJ McLeod. I saw the 78th there. But yeah, the race overall, not terrible, not great necessarily. I think it's just a Phoenix thing. But yeah, let me know what your thoughts let me know what your thoughts are on the race. Let me know what your thoughts are on Phoenix, the new track package or the new short track package. And, William Byron, his second straight win. Let me know what you thought on that too. Short little recap here. I have somewhere to be. But thanks again for watching this video. Hope you liked it. Subscribe, all that stuff. And once again, tomorrow I will get that Las Vegas vlog out there. I know I've pushed it back a lot. Tomorrow I have time. I will get it done. I will post it. And then Tuesday, March Madness bracket. It's going to be terrible. I'm going to get everything wrong, but I'm still going to do it.